Hey guys, this is Hamon, and welcome back to Bytesize, the show where I review games that I have taken interest in. They have to be old, they have to be new, they just have to be something I'm interested in. And today, I'm going to be talking about Monster Hunter Wilds. And I need to put something out there before I say anything. Yes, I am very much into the series, but I am not a quote-unquote fan of it. I'm not a diehard or anything, I'm not like a stickler for anything. I just enjoy the game regardless of which version it is. Although I do have my reservations of each iteration, as I've done with like Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter 4 Generations, all those games I've had issues with at one point or another. Most of them just personal stuff, but you know, that's how it be. In any case, Monster Hunter World is basically, I guess you could say it takes place after Monster Hunter 4 or Monster Hunter World. Either way, because you see the returning character from one of the games instructing you to go to the Forbidden Lands to help this kid that was found there figure out where his village is and deal with a giant monster known as the White Wraith. By the way, spoilers ahead for those that haven't played the game yet or haven't gotten that far. You take the job and you head over there, discovering new lands, new monsters, and all kinds of crazy things now. Yeah, that's... it's awesome. I love it. It's great. I mean, I'm saying that as somebody that loves the series, so that's not really much to say about it. So, either way, graphic-wise, the game looks really great. It's vastly improved. I love the environmental stuff. The fact that you can have natural vine traps in the area. The fact that you can walk through the water, the sand, and you know everything is naturally moving and all that. Like there's an actual ecosystem in this. Like it's living and breathing and it changes. It is an incredible thing. Like honestly, I remember back in the day, there were games that were making this claim that there's like, oh, you go through these planets and it's like they'll naturally change and all that. But this is exactly what it should have been. Like, as you go through the day and all that, things change. Monsters come and go. Nature grows back after you like harvest the stuff and all that. And it's like, it is so beautiful. Everything just looks like it's a natural place, like it's an actual ecosystem, like it's thriving and all that. To move on from that, the monsters are really good. The ones you've seen before, they look really nice in the newer graphics, of course. But then there's the new ones. I like the designs of the new ones, like the Chematrice. I like the fact that you're fighting a big chicken or a cockatrice in some ways. I mean, I think it's essentially what it's based on, the cockatrice. Then you have the Jindahad whale that is very interesting. It's like a evolved form of Kushala Daora, just without the wings. And the one that I was so happy to see was Gormagala. Because even though I died twice to it, I was so happy to be fighting it again, because I love Gormagala. I even have like a little plush of it in my room, so it was so great to see him again. Characters in general, I also like the designs of, and I do find it interesting that, like I said, the guy that your character talks to in the beginning is a returning character from, I believe, 4, and I think a lot of people are theorizing, or I don't know if it's been fully confirmed yet, but apparently Gemma, the smithy that you work with, is actually a character from, I think, either Try or one of the other games that came after it. And that's also pretty neat as well, because it shows that the world is growing. The world has gone through some time and all that. So it is very interesting at that perspective. The base camps and the natural cities that you go to are very interesting in how different they are. Like you have the first village at the plains area. I want to say the whole thing, but it doesn't come to mind immediately. In the plains area has a very indigenous type of look, because everything's like built in the ground, in the walls of the rocks and all that. Whereas the Wudwuds, which are the villagers that live in the Scarlet Forest, or Scarlet Rainforest, whichever one it is, have this whole thing where they live in the ancient ruins and all that because they're small and are able to go into those little crevices. The oil well basin is a mix of I guess both, because I don't know if they're ancient ruins, but they definitely are carved from the rocks and all that. Looks really cool, especially with the big old forge that burns up every time it comes into like season and all that. And then there's where the keepers live. That is a really cool place, very alien-ish, mostly because they live in the ruins of the ancient civilization of Wyveria. And lastly, there is Suja. For once you've gotten past Jin Dahad, at some point, you will see this place, and it is like one of those like Shangri-La type of things. That is like it's very isolated and peaceful and all that type of things, and it's really nice. There are some issues with it, but honestly, I think most of the issues can be overlooked and all that, since been released for a good while now. By the time of this recording is released, like it's been out for a while. There's been probably title updates, including the one where they released Mizu Kusune, the Lagayakris coming up. A lot of things have probably been updated and all that by the time this recording comes out, so I can't say for sure that any of the graphical errors are going to be there at that point. For me personally, it's mostly just with certain scenes, the color just goes weird and all that. That's the only graphical issue I've had. And yeah, so to just go right along, we're going to go into mechanics. Now, like most Monster Hunter games, this is basically you pick a monster to hunt, you go and hunt it, and once you defeat it, you harvest different parts and to make equipment so that you can do better and all that. Now, the difference between this one and even World, everything's open. Everything is open. You don't just load into the world or anything. No, it is right there. Like, it is literally at your doorsteps. You don't even need to go into a loading screen per se in order to do it. Unless you get a quest that isn't on the field or anything. At that point, it'll just load up the thing. But other than that, everything is just there. Like, you can literally be like, oh, I'm gonna go kill this monster out on the map right now. And it won't have to load anything. It won't need to do anything. It will just be like, yeah, you're good to go. Go hunt it. Go hunt it. You're good. And every monster, disappears, reappears after a while and all that, if you're, doing the ones that are on the map and all that. Again, I just love it. Even going between the different areas isn't like a loading thing. If anything, the spaces between when you're walking between them is kind of like the loading thing. Kind of like with the God of War thing that people were talking about when he's crossing through the crevice thing. I think it's kind of like that. Even though it it seems seamless, that moment that there's a pause between the areas, that is probably where it's loading the other map, so that it seems seamless. And it's brilliant for that. Now, and again, like most Monster Hunter games, you have a variety of choices of weapons based on how you like to play. You have classic sword and shield, you have the bow guns, you have the shielded weapons, which includes gun lance, regular lance, to charge blade to a degree. You also have weapons like the longsword, interglaive, the switch axe. All these weapons are different playstyles essentially for what you want to do. Personally, because while I did hear that they reverted the changes to the interglaive, I decided to go with the longsword, and then different from other Monster games, you get a choice of a second weapon. I went with charge blade for that. The only thing I will say is that at this point, people have been saying that the game is a lot easier. Now, while I can agree that some of the monsters seem a little easier, I will argue that for veterans, it is more likely the case because you're used to the mechanics at this point and other factors into it. For new players, the ease of it is that it's to help them get into the game, like they did with World. Especially since this game is now more open and all that. It allows them to observe the area, see things and all that, so that in some cases they can plan out how they're going to go, what they're going to do, all that kind of stuff. And I think I've only fainted a couple times in the game. Twice to Gora Magala. Other times I literally just quit without saving so that I didn't have to have it on record. But either way, there's that. All in all, it's a very awesome time. I enjoy myself And I do love the fact that it doesn't. You can do the SOS thing at any point, so that people can come and help you regardless. And they even give you like support characters if you're playing like by yourself or anything. I do appreciate a lot. Like you get Olivia with her hammer, and I think at the point that I'm playing, I might be getting Fabius or Fabius, whichever one, as a support at this point, since I had to fight Gord Magala with alongside him. Again, it's been an awesome time. I love the game. I just love the game in general. So yeah, I highly recommend this game if you plan on buying it, along with the DLC that will likely be coming out soon after. The game is available on Steam for the price that you see here. I'm doing that right now because I definitely am going to make sure you understand that this game is super expensive. Like, that is the only caveat. It's a little more expensive than it has been before, but honestly I feel like it's worth it. It definitely has all the bells and whistles that makes it worth the price that you're seeing. So yeah, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bytesize. It's definitely a lot longer than the other videos, but you know what? I really love the game, so why not? Give it the time it needs. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out my other social medias if you want to see stuff that I've done, whether it's videos, animatics, art, or just my ramblings. Either way, go check them out if you want to. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!